4 years ago, I was a trainer who had helped thousands of clients transform their bodies and their life, and I couldn't lose my own baby weight. Honestly, I was bloated, I was exhausted, and I avoided mirrors and cameras. I was really ashamed of my body. I mean, I was a trainer. I should have bounced back even quicker than most. And saying mommy's tired really got me when my daughter wanted to play or when I wanted to do things. It took a hold on me. Nothing I tried worked. In this video, this is a story of how I finally figured it out, how I lost 30 pounds without dieting, without tracking, and without giving up pizza nights with my kids. If you've ever felt like you've lost yourself to motherhood, then this video is for you. Because you know what? I knew all the rules. I mean, I was a trainer for 14 years. I had so many certificates backing me up. I was going through my master's at the University of Alberta. I'd helped so many other women get results, but my own body wasn't responding to what I was asking for it to do. And the harder I tried, the more stress I felt and the more stuck, essentially, I felt. Hi, I'm Kylie Hykins, and I'm a nutritionist and personal trainer, and I help moms lose weight without diets or burnout. I've been doing this for over 14 years, and what I'm about to share with you didn't come from a textbook. It actually came from me hitting rock bottom and having to figure it out a different way. You see, I'm going to walk you through my exact journey, the lowest moment that I had my breakthrough with, and what changed everything for me, and the exact approach that I took that finally worked to lose the 30 pounds after I had kids. By the time you'll understand why your body isn't working, and I'm guessing that you will see some parallels in my story and what you can do about it if your body's not responding as well. Really, I want to start at maybe my lowest point, and it kind of brings back some sad moments thinking about it because it was really hard for me when I first had my first baby. Looking back, I definitely had postpartum anxiety. The identity shift was unreal. 3 months after birth, I didn't recognize the woman in the mirror anymore. I hid from family photos like it was my freaking job. I actually have no photos of myself. When I see Instagrammers, they give this amazing transformation of this before and after of them showing their postpartum body. I was far too ashamed of my body to let alone show up in photos, let alone videotape it. Literally, there's no photos of me in this time. And if there is, it's maybe one or two. It's literally very limited. I was exhausted. I was, as you know, if you're watching this video, you are a mom, you've been through the trenches. I was exhausted. I was bloated. I wasn't sleeping. Obviously, I was taking care of a beautiful little girl, and I was constantly giving to those around me. I was managing emotions, my own too. I was managing schedules, managing a household, and I had also had to give up my career. So I was managing a different identity shift too. I was living a lot on more convenience foods, or I would make a green smoothie in the morning and then have a muffin. Really all my effort. I just looked in the mirror and I just saw someone who was puffy, depleted, and completely disconnected from that strong, capable woman I had identified with for so long. It was one of the darkest moments of my life. If you're going through that, I feel you because I was there. But here's what no one tells you about postpartum is I was bloated all the time. My jeans literally left red marks around my waist and I had to undo them in the car just so I could breathe. Sitting down was difficult for me. I started getting acne again. And yes, I wasn't sleeping the best that night, but it didn't matter because I was experiencing these afternoon crash like you wouldn't believe, and coffee could not fix it. Again, I started to avoid photos. I didn't want reminders of how big I had gotten. And the worst part is that all those worries were stealing magic moments away from me and my children because I wasn't present. I was always worried about how I was looking, and I was uncomfortable. I wasn't at ease in my body. I was really, really uncomfortable. I felt like I was watching my own life almost through this foggy window, and I was there, but I wasn't present. If you're walking the same journey, I'm sure you understand how I felt because I had literally lost my spark. I didn't just want to lose weight, but I wanted to feel like myself again. I wanted to feel at ease. I wanted to feel comfortable. I wanted to fit into my old clothes. So if you're in that place, I want you to know you're not alone. You really aren't. It's not your fault. Your body went through something massive, something beautiful. Your hormones shifted. Your life has changed completely, and feeling lost doesn't mean that you're broken. It just means that you're human. So what I did is that I knew how to lose weight, right? Track your macros, track your calories, things that I did for so many years with my clients, but I did everything right and nothing was working. I followed the rules I had taught for years. I cut calories, I added more cardio in, I pushed harder, and the scale didn't move. And I'd wake up bloated. Like I'd wake up just feeling even more disconnected from myself. And then, the shame and guilt would follow because I was a trainer. I was supposed to have this figured out. I knew the science. I was studying for my freaking master's. So I thought I needed to cut carbs or maybe add more workouts or try to eat less, move more, that whole nonsense that we hear all the time. And all those things did work in my 20s. They really did. But my body wasn't responding now and the weight wouldn't budge. And worse, I was feeling even more exhausted from those strategies and more depleted and more frustrated. I started to wonder if this was just how it was going to be after kids. But it was that rock bottom identity shift that I talked about earlier, that feeling really disconnected from who I was. Like this outer facade did not match who I was on the inside. And it was really hard. And I remember watching my husband skip breakfast for a couple weeks and lose 5 to 10 pounds. And meanwhile, I was watching everything I was eating, working out constantly, and not getting the results that I felt like I deserved for all my hard-earned effort. It felt really unfair. And I can chuckle at it now, but at the time it was really frustrating. And I started hearing comments like, oh, just you wait, from other moms. Like weight gain was just the inevitable part of motherhood. Like losing yourself was just the inevitable part of motherhood. Like feeling burnt out and putting yourself on the last freaking place on your to-do list was normal. I'm sorry, but I refused to accept that then. And I will freaking stand on that hill today and tell you that you don't have to be an overweight, burnt out, low energy type mom just because that's normal. It's not normal. It's what's accepted, but it's not normal. If you've been doing everything right and seeing nothing to hear for it, please hear me out when I say you're not failing. The approach that you're using is failing. There's a difference. And once I understood that, everything changed, because when I stopped trying harder and I started asking a different question, that question honestly changed everything. I stopped asking, how do I eat less? How do I do more? And instead I asked, why is my body not responding? And honestly, I went deep into research, not the mainstream fitness type, but I started to understand the women's body and the hormones and the metabolism, the changes that can happen after pregnancy when we are underfueled, high stress, and lacking sleep. I wanted to understand what was happening at a hormonal level and why women not only gain weight after pregnancy, but have such a hard time getting it off, or feel that with every pregnancy, they just continue to put on more weight when they've really changed nothing to their eating habits or their movement patterns. And what I found out changed everything. It wasn't really about calories anymore. It wasn't about willpower. It was about hormones, specifically cortisol, blood sugar, and metabolic flexibility. And this is when I had my real aha moment. I realized I was inflamed, right? The acne was a sign, the bloating was a sign, the weight gain was a sign. I was under fuel, I was overstressed, and my nervous system was shot. I mean, I was going through a massive identity shift. Of course it was shot. I told you I struggled with postpartum anxiety, like having these intrusive thoughts and feeling really lonely. And I was embarking on a journey that was way too difficult, even though I felt so grateful for this beautiful little girl that I had been gifted. But really what was happening was my body was stuck in sugar burning mode. And what that does, it tells our metabolism that it's inflexible. It can't switch to burning fat for fuel. Instead, it just relies on quick carbs and quick sugars for all this energy. But what that does is it just crashes our blood sugar. Our blood sugar goes on this massive roller coaster, which has us feeling exhausted, inflamed, bloated, and really we're going to put on weight from that, right? Because we're not able to tap into the stored fat as fuel. Really, every under eating day, every day I ate less and moved more, every intense workout I did, every sleepless night that I had was just confirming that kind of danger signal that all those other cues were giving me. It's kind of like those stress signals that my body was giving. And my body would just try to protect me by keeping me in sugar burning mode. It just needed more fuel and put the fat on me as protection. But the threat wasn't really real. It was just an everyday as a mom. Once I understood that I was spiking cortisol through all those habits, that I was, increasing those stress signals, everything started to click. I didn't have a discipline problem. I had a hormone problem. And no amount of calorie counting solutions, no calorie solutions was ever going to work. And this is the reframe that really changed everything for me. Your weight gain is not a character flaw. It's a biological response to stress, depletion, and metabolic inflexibility. Metabolic inflexibility is our inability to tap into stored fat as a fuel source. And instead, our body just keeps asking for quick sugar, which just perpetuates that vicious cycle of continuously putting on weight. So once you understand that and address the real cause of why your body is putting on weight, you can experience that 30-pound weight loss that I too experienced. So what I did was I finally threw out everything that I knew and I built an approach straight from scratch. And the approach that finally worked was I stopped dieting and I started supporting my metabolism instead. And within months, everything shifted. So here's what I changed first. First, I changed my blood sugar. I had to eat in a way that balanced my blood sugar first and foremost. This was going to support my energy levels. It was going to support my mood and essentially allow me to get into that fat burning pathway to become more metabolically flexible. I started every day with a protein rich breakfast. Okay, so I started eating to satiety with a protein rich breakfast. This gave me energy to meet the demands of motherhood, take care of the home, continue in my master's and all those things. It gave me fuel. I was nourishing my body instead of constantly trying to deplete it from an already depleted body. I just started to nourish it instead. No more running on coffee until lunch. I really, really wanted to support my body first and foremost in the morning. The second thing is that I really started to support my gut health. That bloating, the inflammation, the acne, it was all connected. And third, I prioritized my nervous system. I stopped the intense workouts that I could handle in my 20s before kids, and instead I added strength training with adequate rest. I started doing yoga to help calm my nervous system. I walked outside like it was my freaking job because nature is very, very calming. And I focused on sleep, even when it felt impossible. And I know you can roll your eyes at me. That's fine. I'm not going to tell you to ignore your kid. But there are things that moms can do in their control to prioritize the quality of sleep. Maybe not the quantity of sleep, but we can prioritize the quality of sleep. And fourth is I stopped trying to be perfect. I gave myself grace, compassion, number one. But here's what no one tells you about how to not only lose the weight, but keep it off in a sustainable way. Because within the first weeks, my energy started coming back. The 2 p.m. crash started disappearing. The nighttime cravings faded. Within a few months, my bloating was gone. My skin cleared up. I started seeing muscle definition again. And over 8 months, I had lost the 30 pounds that I had set off to lose. Not by suffering, not by restriction, but by finally giving my body what it actually needed and really come at it from a nourishing standpoint. I tell you, this is so, so important. Do not take things away. Do not deplete yourself even more. Instead, ask yourself, what does my body need? What can I give my body? The solution wasn't trying harder. It was to try a different approach, supporting instead of punishing, nourishing instead of restricting, working with my hormones instead of against them. But honestly, the physical transformation wasn't even the most important part. But first, quick pause. If my story is resonating with you and you want more videos like this, then hit the subscribe button down below. I share new content like this every week that helps moms lose weight without diets or burnout. Okay, back to my story. What I really got back when I think back to it is I lost the 30 pounds, but I found myself again. I told you about that identity shift that I really struggled with. When my outer facade, when I started looking like I felt on the inside, I got that connection back with my body. I started feeling at ease again. I started feeling comfortable in my skin. And yes, I lost the weight, but that wasn't the real transformation. I got my energy back. I stopped being that tired mom on the couch, just trying to avoid playing with my kids. I started showing up present, not just physically there, but mentally as well. I stopped hiding from cameras and I actually have photos that I can look back at of my family where, well, I'm included. I felt strong. I felt confident and like the woman I used to be, but a bit wiser because motherhood changes you for the better and we can use it as an accelerant of growth to be more grounded, to be more at peace at your body than you've ever been before. Because honestly, this is what I wish someone had told me years ago. The other day, my daughter asked me to race her around in the backyard, and I said yes without hesitation. I'm going to be training for a Spartan, and she wants to train right alongside me. I don't need to make an excuse. I can hold her when I want to. I can run after her when I want to. I can run and laugh and play. And that's honestly the mom I want to be. I want to have energy to play with them. I want to have energy to go snowboarding if I want to and dance with my girlfriends on a Friday night and feel okay with that. Weight loss was kind of like the side effect. The real transformation that I gained was being the mom that I was proud of. A woman who shows her daughters that taking care of herself isn't selfish, it's actually necessary, and a role model who practices what she preaches. When you think about why you want to lose weight, go deeper than the number. I really urge you to. What you actually want. Energy to play with your kids, maybe energy to play with your grandkids when they come, confidence in photos, being able to wear whatever you want, ditch those dark baggy clothes to recognize yourself again. That's the real goal. Weight loss is just a path to get there. It's actually funny when we're at a dinners or, we're out with friends. I'll have people who have never met me before. They're like, oh, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I do weight loss for moms. And Adam, my husband, he's like, I don't feel like that gives it the right story that you should tell people, or that doesn't give them the whole picture. And this is what he's talking about, because women come into my program, they embark on this journey because they want to lose weight. But what they get is so much more. They get a reconnection with themselves, a reconnection with their spouse, a reconnection with their kids. They end up getting confidence to settle for that job, that promotion that they really want, sign up for that course that they really want. It really expands your world instead of takes it away. And honestly, that's what brings me to why I started coaching other moms, why I do this work in the first place. I never wanted another mom to feel as lost as I did. That's why I created A Different Way. After my own transformation, I knew I couldn't keep this for myself. I'd spent 14 years helping people lose weight, but now I understood something deeper. I understood what it actually takes for mom over 30 to get real results, not more discipline, not stricter diets, not making weight loss like this second freaking job that you have to do, or maybe a third job because you're likely managing your home, you have a career, and now you got weight loss to add to it. So I didn't want it to be a third job. I didn't want a stricter diet that told them that they couldn't have pizza nights with their kids or say no to ice cream with their kids, because I've dealt with grief. I know how precious time is. And time with our kids needs to be protected as much as we can. I built a system around everything I'd ever learned about this. Metabolism support, blood sugar balance, strength training, nervous system regulation, and most importantly, compassion instead of shame. Here's what makes this different. And I've helped countless moms go through the same transformation I did. Moms who have tried everything, who have thought their metabolism was broken beyond repair and it's just age and all these things, but even moms who had given up on themselves. And when I watch the light come back to them, the energy returns as their clothes are fitting again and they're showing up differently in their lives. That's why I do this work. It brings me so much joy. And I think about my daughters watching me too. I want them to grow up seeing a mom who takes care of herself, not one who punishes herself or obsesses over food, one who eats pizza without guilt, who lifts heavy weights, who radiates with joy and confidence. That's what I want. That's the example I want to set. And that's the example I help my clients set too. Your transformation isn't just about you. It ripples honestly into everyone in your world. Your kids are watching, your partner is watching, and when you change, you give them permission to change too. So let me leave you with the 3 biggest lessons that I learned. And if you remember nothing from this video, please just remember these 3 things. Truth number 1, your body is not the same as it was before kids. That's not a failure. That's just biology. And you need a different approach now to lose weight, and that's okay. Number 2, you are not broken. You've been treating a hormone issue with a calorie solution, and that's why nothing has worked. It's not your fault. And number 3, my most favorite of all, and the way it sees through my coaching like you wouldn't believe, compassion is not optional. It is not. The way you talk to yourself matters. You cannot hate yourself thin, but you can love yourself to be that strong, confident mom you know you have the capability of being. Every mom who has transformed with me started in this exact place that you are right now, frustrated, exhausted, feeling like nothing's working. And every single one of them found out that their body was never broken and how it was actually their approach. Think of yourself like a garden that you've been through a harsh winter. You're not dead. You're not dormant. Just with the right condition, the right nourishment, the right care, the right compassion, you'll bloom again. You will bloom again. Maybe even more beautiful than you've ever thought. Because here's what I've learned is that motherhood changes you. And it's always, always, always for the better. You can choose now just how you're going to navigate that change. Start treating yourself the way you would treat your daughter. with patience, with kindness, with belief that she can do hard things. Start treating yourself the way you would treat your son, with patience, with kindness, with belief that she can do hard things, because I'm sorry, but like, you've got through childbirth, you can get through this too. That's always my mantra. Whenever I'm doing hard things, I'm like, I got through childbirth. I can get through anything, because it's true. That's where your transformation is really going to begin. If you walk away with nothing, here's what I want you to really work on, is that if nothing has worked before, you're not the failure. It's the approach that needs a little refresh, and your body has fundamentally changed. So I was a trainer who couldn't lose weight. I felt this massive identity shift. Like, if I couldn't figure it out, I was this utter failure. Like, maybe I wasn't the greatest teacher, but really it showed me that what it was actually working for me in my 20s wasn't going to work for moms over 30. And it gave me a mission to make sure that no mom ever felt as lost as I did. You can get your energy back. You can get your spark back. You can feel like yourself again. You can be a model of a strong, confident woman for you and for your kid. It starts with understanding your body and treating it with compassion. I believe in you, and now it's your time to believe in yourself too. If you want to know whether cardio or strength training is actually better for fat loss after 30, watch this next video up above. I break down exactly what your body needs and why everything you've been told is wrong, and the link is just on the screen here. I'll see you there.